first chapter of the Koran is a long discussion of the origin of the world and the responsibility of man to God. In it, Muhammad also says that God took the Jewish people out of Egypt, gave them his law, which some of them violated. All that is recorded in the Torah. But the question is, if the true law was the law that was to be given to the Arabs, why didn't God take the Arabs from wherever they were to his worship, the worship of one God? The Torah had been around for 2,000 years. The Jews did not worship idols for 2,000 years. Yes, there were some who did, and we were punished for it. But to this day, the Jewish people don't worship idols, don't worship the God of other nations. We have been to India, we have been to Central Asia, we've been to China, we've been to Europe, we've been among the Arabs, we've been in Africa, we've been to South America, North America. Wherever you go and you see a synagogue, there is no place for idolatry. The Jewish people have remained faithful to their God now for over 3,300 years. But at the time that Muhammad came, the Jews have been faithful to one God for 2,000 years. Now, if the true message is the message that Muhammad had, and that was to be given to the Arabs, why did God wait 2,000 years with the Jews? And furthermore, if God communicated his message to the Jews on Sinai, to abrogate that message, he would have to have addressed the Jews and to tell them this. In the message to the Jews, which was recorded by the prophet Moses, Moshe, as we say it, Musa, as it's said in Arabic, the prophet Musa, Moshe, Moses, says clearly that although you have sinned, God still keeps you as his nation, and you will be his nation forever. And God will restore you to your land, to your holy land, when you accept the commandments and follow them accordingly. Clearly stated in the book of Deuteronomy. Very, very long statements by Moses. There's no question, Moses leaves no place to doubt that the Jewish people are God's eternal people. And in fact, Muhammad acknowledges this. The communication that God gave to the peoples of the world 2,000 years before Muhammad was all to the Jewish people. And I ask you, my Arab brothers, my Islamic brothers, how does that change? And wouldn't God come to the Jewish people all over the world, gather them together, tell them otherwise? Doesn't make any sense. Furthermore, as long as we're discussing chapter 1, I want to point out to you that the discussion between God and the angels over the wisdom of Adam, that Adam knew the names of the animals and the angels did not, does not appear anywhere in the Torah. It just says in the Torah, God took the animals to Adam to see what he would call them. Whatever he called them was their name. Now, the way Muhammad interprets this, that God had previously told Adam what they were and not told the angels, doesn't show Adam's great wisdom. If you were told the answers to a test beforehand and answered them correctly, that wouldn't show you great wisdom. The fact that Adam called them by names is not so great. That doesn't make any sense. But I'll tell you what it really says. And where did Muhammad get this story? He got this from rabbis that he had come into contact with. And the true story is as follows. Everything in the world has divinity in it. You and I have divinity making us, as well as the chairs and the furniture and the lights and the walls and the rocks and the air and space. Everything has divinity in it making it. Adam was taught the secrets of the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. And those letters of the alphabet were used in the process of creation. And Adam in his great wisdom saw the letters as they came together in each creature, giving it its identity, giving it its life and its energy and creative force. He was able to see this and understand it and decipher this. The angels could not. And that was the reason why his wisdom was great, because he could understand the mysteries of the language of God and the powers of creation much deeper than did the angels. Had he been given the answers beforehand, doesn't show any wisdom at all. But to be able to decipher and to see what exactly something really is in its spiritual source, that requires insight, that requires a soul greater than the angel. And the human soul, the only place where it says that is in the Torah, that the human soul is greater than the angels.